The year was 1967, I was working at NBC Enterprises. When I was in my 20s at the time, me and the team would dub episodes of Astro Boy, Tetsuwa Natomu in Japan, despite the fact I heard that there's 39 episodes never to be aired here. As a matter of fact, I watched some of them including episode 193. Me and the team thought it was a good idea to not dub that either due to its depressing ending. Then, a day after me and the team watched it, I got a tape of yet another episode. The tape was unlabeled, no text, just a film in a canister. The guy who gave it to me said that the episode was simply called episode 194 at first. I thought it was a joke. I thought someone actually gave me a fetish movie from the 40s and claimed it was an Astro Boy episode, but again, I worked with this guy a lot, so I guess it's nothing. Maybe the guys at Mushi are making new episodes just for the US. So, I played the film tape, and what I saw was, well, out of the ordinary. A broken bar. The usual intro was not there at all. Just a black screen, nothing. I ignored this though, as I got straight into the episode. Though what makes this interesting is that the show is still in black and white, while most other shows over here were in color such as Batman, The Green Hornet, Star Trek, and a new version of Dragnet that was about to air, even shows that started in monochrome such as The Andy Griffith Show, Gomer Pyle, USMC, I Dream of Jeannie, Bewitched, and Gilligan's Island were all switching to color. I guess they had no budget maybe, I don't really know. A broken bar. The episode starts with Astro, his sister called Yuran in Japan, and his big brother no one really talks about, standing near a grave. Yuran and the big brother called Cobalt were in a sad mood, while Astro was in a more angry look. It then cuts to a grave that had Japanese character names that I know. I translated one as a Chana Myuu Hakes, which I know was the Japanese name for Dr. Ilafun. How did Dr. Ilafun die? I asked myself. Later, it fades to Astro and his siblings at home, still in his angry face. Later, Yuran is seen crying in her bed. However, Astro was the two. Astro then all a sudden had a kitchen knife in his hand. Astro then raises his hand holding the knife at Yuran, but just as he strikes on her sobbing body, it cuts to black. It then fades to a shot of Yuran legs, lying on the floor, indicating that she's dead. Then it cuts to Astro, who had red pupils in his eyes and a bloody hand. A broken bar. The eyes and the blood were the only thing that was in color. Very unusual for a black and white series at the time. It fades to black once more, this time, showing Cobalt crying in front of a black background. There were no crying sounds, nothing, but then, the black background then showed what really disgusted me. It showed footage of a man getting mutilated and a lobster getting crushed by a heel. I blocked my eyes since I couldn't stand the rest. Later it cuts to Cobalt lying on the floor, dead. Next to Cobalt's body was Astro, indicating that he killed him too. Then, it was the baby brother T-chan next to broken bar. Astro, still with his red pupils, took a pillow, and smothered T-chan. I was never more scarred as ever. It then fades yet again to Astro outside of his house. The red-eyed Astro met the big mustache guy, and killed him too. This time the blood made more sense since he's a human. Then, he met Inspector Gumshoe, Toshi in the original Japanese version, and cut off his nose. Astro then stabbed him. The screams were also not cartoony screams, it was more realistic per se. Astro then proceeded to eat Gumshoe's nose like a cannibal. Astro then went to a circus tent. There he met the great Cacciator. Hey me. Astro then got out a realistic gun and shot Cacciator in the forehead. Cacciator was lying dead, with red blood gushing out of his head. It then cut to Astro's cold red eyes. A broken bar. The eyes look so poorly made, yet unsettling at the same time. It then fades out, with white Japanese text saying Zetsube ring. The tape then ends a broken bar. I decided to take the tape and burn it, but I didn't burn it. Instead, I just put it in a box, and put it in my attic, never to be seen again. A broken bar. Epilogue. 50 years later. The year is now 2017 at the time of this writing. Now in my 60s, I still live in the house where that traumatizing event took place. I was dusting off my attic, when all of a sudden, I found the canister, still in pristine condition. I already knew what it was, so I decided to sell it and find someone who can do something about it. I found luck when a guy who says he works at Anime News Network. I sold it to him for no money. I told the young man, a broken bar. Whatever you do, don't watch it. I gave him the canister, he took it, and went away with no word from his mouth.